Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for having us today. Now we will be talking about the different categories of art. My name is Brian Roy Bimelioria.
And I am Anami B. Marzon.
And I am Maria Lynn Marin. So before we start tackling about the categories of art, we will define first what is art. So art is the expression or application of human creative skill and imagination.
Okay, now for the different categories of art, we actually have this or plethora of categories. But for today, we will be specifically focusing on these five categories. First is the visual arts, the auditory arts, the audiovisual arts, the literary arts, and lastly the applied arts. So first we will be talking about the visual arts. So what is visual art? Visual art are the art forms wherein we create works that are primarily focused on the visual in nature. This can be found on ceramics, drawings, paintings, or sculpture. Now, we will be talking about our experiences on this visual art. To me, my experience on visual art is that I have been a graphic designer on a certain publication, and that is Ang Suga. Being a graphic artist, you have to have a keen eye, especially in visuals elements. Especially for me, I am focusing on layouting and the principles of design.
For me, when I was young, I used to draw like animes and kanang anything that I like. It's just my hobby, and then later on kanang wala na lang ko ni kuan ni padayon. But I used to kuan experience. It was fun actually, and I still kept it.
Next, for the category of art is the auditory art. So, what do you think is auditory art means, Miss Anna?
For me, my personal example for that is by this Condiman folk music entitled Usahay by Lenny Alano. Are you familiar with that? Usahay nag...
I think
Not
I've
really.
heard of it.
Oh, you're not familiar with it.
Yeah.
I think Brian is familiar with
Usahay,
it.
nagadag, daw ako.
So recently,
And I thought,
guys, I had come across the melody of Usahay after downloading an amazing collection of Filipino piano music recorded by Raul Sumito. So along with many other awesome Kandiman melodies, Usahay was really catchy and memorable for me because I just love the art of this piece and the message and emotions it conveys to the audience. And also I get to learn some Visayan words because the lyrics of the piece is Visayan.
how about
Then
you,
for
Miss
me-
Mirin?
Yes, for me, I also like music, but it is K-pop songs, especially the song of BTS. I really relate their songs, their meanings and everything sa lyrics kay it is so meaningful. For example, is katong when I was in high school, I first kanang heard their songs, and their songs is also all about like kanang as a student having a dreams, and those people who will not believe in you, that's like na kanang kuan. And then it also talks about love yourself, their album, and it speaks about loving yourself and focusing and caring for yourself so that you will grow and develop. That's why I really love their songs.
I actually heard about songs about BTS, and it's very catchy, right? And it's very melodic. That's why most
I'm a low-key fan of
teens
BTS.
really like, yeah.
And
The songs
also,
of
although
BTS.
I can't really understand Korean, but I search on Google what is the meaning and the romanization of it so that I can understand the lyrics and the
So it is
message of it.
so it is really true, right? That music is universal, no matter what language is spoken is, as long as the melody is felt. It can extend its message. For the next category is the audiovisual arts. So how about you, Miss Mirin? What can you tell us about this category of art?
Audiovisual arts is the exploration of kinetic abstract art and music or sound set in relation to each other.
To me, I can relate this category of art to films and cinemas. One thing or one movie that really struck me, I know it might be sound cliche, is Titanic. It might sound, fun, right? The magic of that film can still be felt today, even if it was 20 years ago. So we can really say that when a movie or when a certain film is classic, that many people can relate, then its messages can be felt across different eras or across different time.
Yes,
How
I
about you,
agree.
Miss?
Yes. Are you familiar with the It's Pretty? It was pretty na K-drama.
Who's
Park
the
Soo-jun
main?
and it talks about like
I can't
about how you
relate.
are beautiful. So it talks
Yeah.
about a person who is ugly and she is not confident about her face. So in this kanang kuan talk about it fix I mean it feels like kanang you must be kanang confident bitaw sa imong self, and you will not kanang focus lang on what is outside but focus on inside, because the girl, although she is ugly, but she has a good heart and a good personality.
Okay, now for the next category of art that we will be talking about is the literary arts. I do love writing poetry and I do love the cleverness of playing the words. How about you, Miss Anna? Did I wrote you a poetry to you?
Um,
Have you
What?
received any poetry from me?
let's not talk about that. Are you familiar with Bob Ong's ABNKKBFNPL ako? Are you familiar with it? I remember I was depressed when I was reading this, and I felt back then that everything wasn't working for me. So I went to the bookstore. I get it because it was the book that most of my classmates have already read. So there are so many things we can learn from this book, which I think every Filipino must read. And it influenced my perspective of how I look at life, education, my happiness, success, and also of my country.
For the last category of art we will be talking to is about the applied arts. So applied art is a term that refers to the application, or it is the artistic design wherein we can use on our everyday lives. So one example of this I can relate to this is how the Filipino people were creative and very innovative, especially in making crafts and making, for example, the moment when I pass by, especially in a marketplace, you can actually see how creative the Filipino people. You can see our crafts, our own craft, where we can use in our everyday lives, even if it's just a basket or it is just a pamaypay, you can still see the craftsmanship and how the art has been transferred, wherein we can see its aesthetic and its heritage for us Filipinos.
So one example of applied arts is fashion design. So in talking about fashion, I really like outfits and everything that will suit me gani. So personally, I usually search on Google what's best to wear in my body type, in other people's body type. So fashion design, I just find it like it is an expression for myself. It also signifies my own identity. So what I like, I can show to the other people. This is how I wear. So fashion design really, it fascinates me and it is interesting also.
I really agree with that. So, wow, I really have a good insight based from our experiences, right? From different categories of art. So we can really say that even in our just simple life, we can still see art everywhere. What is your insight, guys, on our conversation today?
Art is applied in our everyday life. It can also be seen in the different aspects of our lives, and it is very also helpful that we have these different categories of art for us to understand the different artistic works of us and the people who really love. Yeah.
And also, I can say that in this, brainstorming, we can say that, we can appreciate art because in our daily life, we cannot say no. We cannot always gani appreciate art because dili man na nato always ma-realize na hala art ni siya. But by talking or discussing now, we can say na art is everywhere, and we must appreciate it because it is part of our life and it is within us also. Yes,
Yeah,
Brian.
exactly. So thank you, Miss Marialyn and Miss Anna Marzon, for our insightful for today's brainstorming about the different categories of art. And I really hope that also other people would appreciate more our heritage, especially our own art, right? So that we can even expand its influence to other people also. So I really want to thank you guys. So this might end our conversation today, but I hope people will see this and realize how beautiful art is. So I guess it's a goodbye for now, guys. Again, I am Brian Roy Di Malioria.
And I am Anna May D. Marzon.
And I am Maria Lynn Marine. So that's it for
Okay,
today.
bye bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.